Uneducated experts.
Uneducated experts.
Motherfucking.
Uneducated experts.
Episode 11.
And we are back. Welcome back to the most ignored show in the history of podcasts. We are the best podcast, but we are ignored.
We're the best unknown
podcast. Our fans don't tell anyone about us.
We are the best unknown podcast. How about that?
Sure.
Remember when Skip Bayless went to Fox Sports 1 and he kept saying this is the fastest growing sports show, or what does he call it? What do you call it? The fastest growing sports show in the world?
I don't remember. I don't watch Fox Sports 1.
Well, me neither, but it was all over my Facebook timeline and all over the commercials just because him and Shannon Sharp, who, by the way, is god-awful. But anyways,
one of my favorite tight ends ever, but he's not the best.
He's not the best commentator. I'm sorry. Our sports analyze.
He's one of those people that thinks that his opinion is worth more than what it is.
Well, I think he's also trying to use his little lisp or that the way he talks in his favor, like Michael Strahan has. Michael Strahan has made millions because of that gap and because he's actually good on TV. Shannon Sharp, not so much. But
hey, so
regardless.
Anyways, not to just cut you off, but I'm gonna cut you off. So for those of you that are listening that don't know, we had some complaints about our language. Not really complaints, just some constructive criticism about how we could probably do better about not dropping the F-bomb.
Bro, this is like the fourth episode you've talked about this.
I know, but listen, this is why I'm bringing it up. Because we've been trying not to say the F word, right?
Trying to, yeah.
Okay. Do you realize that in the intro to our podcast, it says the F word?
Yeah, I know. I didn't know that. I didn't realize that. I thought it was funny, man. But that's the intro, though. You know what I mean? I think that's pretty cool.
Oh, so the intro, we're allowed to cuss?
Well, the intro, well, yeah. Are we going to make the intro like 2 minutes long and just drop bombs all throughout the whole entire intro?
I don't know. As I was editing episode 10 this morning, I was like, I listened to it, and I just started laughing, like hysterically laughing, and I couldn't stop. And like my kids are like, "What's so funny, Dad?" And I was like, "I said the F word."
You just remember that 10 episodes in that our intro has the F-bomb?
Well, not really just remembered, more like in the last 3 episodes.
Oh, you just like reheard it again, though. Like you just heard it and
yeah, because normally when I do it, I don't even listen to the intro because I already have the template made for the episode. So I just slide the new audio in, change the episode number, and keep it moving.
Makes sense.
I think it's hilarious. So what are we talking about? We're talking about the NFC North, right?
Yeah, because not only did we have complaints about our language, we had complaints about how we just brushed off the other 3 teams in the NFC North and just said that the Packers were going to win.
You know, and when that comment was made, it actually does make sense because if you think about it, the Packers only won the division last year by 1 game.
True.
So, and as you always say, there's games that you're going to win, there's games you're going to lose, and there's those critical games where you have they can go either way. If one of those games went the other way, we're talking about the Lions being in the playoffs and the Packers missing it. So,
in fact, Lions were in the playoffs, but I know what you're saying. But Lions were in the playoffs.
Yeah,
they lost the wild card round.
I'm sorry. I'm talking about winning the division, so I apologize. Anyways, so with that being said, I think we should revisit it. And as always, since it wouldn't be fun if we just agreed on the same shit. Dang it, I just said the S word. Wait, I'm allowed to say the S word.
Yeah, we're allowed to say the F word, right? The F word is the one that cringes people.
Oh. Anyways.
Yeah, anyways. I just learned the word cringe, so I read about it. I see the definition, and I want to use it properly. So I'm learning new words, expanding my vocabulary.
What do you mean you just learned the word cringe?
Like I just
you've
learned,
never used it before?
I never used the word cringe till now. I never used it. I heard it, but didn't really know what it meant. I don't use words I can't spell, and I don't use words that I don't know what they mean. So I looked it up. It was my new word for the day.
I mean, that's good. That's good. I don't know if it's good that you didn't know what the word cringe meant.
Well, it's my new word for the day. I don't have a big vocabulary. It's probably why I curse a lot, because those are easy words to remember, and none of them are really more than 4 letters.
Listen, first off, that's wrong. Second,
most of them aren't more.
Second, we already went over this. People who cuss a lot tend to be of more intelligent value.
I just don't believe
I said that super
I
wrong.
just
That doesn't even
don't
make
believe
sense.
that. Anyways, so
Anyways.
yeah, so I mean, I'm not gonna budge from my Packers prediction.
Well, here. So how about this? So before we get into it, how about we pause right now and we go to the call-in that we have, and then we come back. Deal?
That's fine. Sure.
So we got a friend of the show, Gary, on the line. He's one of our first and heavy supporters. Shares all of our stuff, likes it, comments back. He's a Detroit Lions fan, so I can only assume that he's gonna want to be or gonna say that the Lions are gonna win. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna let him give his reasoning on why he thinks whoever he thinks is gonna win the NFC North. You ready, Gary?
I'm ready, and I appreciate you inviting me on and everything.
Hey, no problem, man. We're starting out, but we're starting strong. But go ahead.
So, I'm one of the few Detroit Lions fans who is out of the closet. But that being said, I'm not going to go ahead and say that I think the Detroit Lions will win it. I just don't think that the Packers are a shoo-in. So if you look at the beginning of last season, when Rodgers was getting pressured, he was ranked the 34th out of 34 quarterbacks. They lost a key offensive lineman, T.J. Lang, and I think that's going to play a much bigger role than a lot of people are assuming.
That's actually one of the reasons why I'm arguing for the Lions. But go ahead.
So later in the season, when Aaron Rodgers was getting a lot of time in the pocket, and they were talking on a few shows I was listening to. I don't have the time in the pocket, the average time in the pocket in front of me, but when he was getting all the time in the pocket and extending plays, he was able to make those long throws, the Hail Marys, the touchdown passes. But when he was getting pressured, he was getting sacks, fumbles. The Vikings just destroyed him. I believe that was game 2 last season. That being said, both the Detroit Lions and the Vikings hit their weak points during the offseason. Offensive line for the Lions, they got a linebacker a little bit. They didn't upgrade their defensive line too much, but they definitely upgraded their offensive line tremendously, which should help the run game, which is what they've been lacking for the last the last time they had had somebody with 100 yards.
The last decade.
Times. Yeah. So it's good. I think the division is going to be up for grabs this year, and it's going to be a close race, either a 3-way between Vikings, Lions, and Packers, or the Packers and one of the other teams. I'm not going to count the Packers out from contending because they're a perennial contender.
Hey, who doesn't like a 3-way?
Right, exactly. And I mean, we don't even have to talk about the Bears, but
I forgot they were still an NFL team. I thought they went back to the NCAA. But all right, man. Hey, I definitely appreciate you calling in. I'm glad we were able to fit you in on this segment. Just so everybody knows, Gary's actually the reason we're revisiting this segment due to the uneducatedness of me and Jones and just over jumping everything and trying to meet a time crunch. So we wanted to revisit it, and we're going to go from there. But thank you, Gary.
hey, thanks again.
Yep, later. Well, we just heard from Gary. We hear what he has to think. What he has to say. I guess not what he has to think.
Well, it is what he thinks. He thinks what he says, and he says what he means.
I love your play on words there. It was extremely intelligent. Anyways, so you're not going to budge. You feel that the Aaron Rodgers, because that's what they are gonna win the NFC North, correct?
Yes, the Green Bay Aaron Rodgers will win the NFC North.
Could you imagine if they changed their logo to like an Aaron Rodgers logo, like him throwing a Hail Mary?
He is the king of Hail Marys.
Would be
epic.
like the Jordan logo, but instead of it being Jordan, like it's Aaron Rodgers throwing a deep ball. Anyways, so I'm gonna go with the Detroit Lions. I'm gonna give you a few reasons why.
I'm listening.
Reason number 1.
You're wrong, but I'm listening.
T.J. Lang. Reason number 1, T.J. Lang. The Packers offense works great because the line works well, gives Aaron Rodgers just enough time to be able to throw the ball, and of course it gives enough time to where if the pocket collapses, Aaron Rodgers then goes to his legs. Losing the Pro Bowl guard TJ Lang is going to be a large factor in how that offense works, especially when they don't really have a running back. I'm pretty sure Ty Montgomery is listed as their running back still. And I mean, they use what you got.
Oh, you kidding me? Go sit down.
Yeah. So I'm gonna edit this out, whatever. But he's over there yelling at his kid, so it's hilarious. So I'm cut off guard.
Oh shit! I tried to mute it. I thought I muted. My bad.
Nah, you're good. I mean, you might have muted your mic, but you didn't mute the thing. Doesn't matter. Hey, look, man. We're dads. We're husbands. We're family men. We're everyday people, and we're the uneducated experts. It's just how it plays out. So. Anyways, so for those of you who don't know, he was just talking to me, but you probably won't be able to hear it because his mic was muted. However, the call was not. So, TJ Lang, a big factor, and it would have been a big factor if the Packers had just lost him, but then they lost him, and he's now with the Lions. So, it's a huge move for the Lions. Great job to their front office. Also, I'm probably gonna mess his name up, but
Amir Abdullah, yeah,
is back. Yeah, I didn't know how to say his first name, Amir. I don't know why that was so hard in my head.
Amir?
Yeah, I don't know.
How
you know
did
how
you
it is
think
sometimes.
it was? How
People
did
having
you
some
think
weird
it was
names.
pronounced?
No, it wasn't how I thought it was pronounced. It was how I thought it was spelled.
Oh, okay. But you knew his name was Amir.
So I was pretty sure his name was Amir. I just couldn't remember how it was spelled, so I didn't want to mess it up and be on record of messing it up in case he calls me one day. I mean, I'm not trying to get pushed up against the wall by some big running back. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, he's not that big anyway. I think you're bigger than him. I think you're bigger than him. But anyways.
I probably am bigger than him. Doesn't matter.
So
it doesn't matter because anybody can catch his hands. But he's back. Him and Theo Riddick will make a good 1-2 punch. As long as they can stay healthy, which has obviously been the problem. They still have Matthew Stafford, who is a good quarterback. I won't say he's a great quarterback, but he's definitely a good quarterback. Still have the same offensive weapons. They added TJ Lang, took it away. Plus, I don't even know a defensive back on the Packers right now.
I mean, I know a couple of them.
Maybe
there's a man named Clay Matthews that has been a legit.
I said defensive backs.
Oh, defensive
so
backs.
Thank you for saying Clay Matthews was a defensive back.
Well, Kevin
You're so
King,
intelligent.
Rookie cornerback, but I watched the NFL draft. Go ahead though, man. I mean, all right. So
Anyways, their offense stays good. Detroit's defense is always a premier. Wow, I'm messing all my words up. A premier unit, so I think their defense will still be good.
Maybe you need I think toilet paper also.
Anyways, so I think Detroit's offense got better with the pickup of TJ Lang and with their running backs coming back healthy. Matthew Stafford is going to have another good/decent year. And I think the Packers are going to have to struggle and fight more to get the same offensive gains they had last year. So I'm going to say that this year we're going to flip the roles. One game divides them. I'm going Lions.
Okay, so you do. I'm gonna use my own words that you said. I've said before about 10 games you got to find ways to win, and otherwise you end up being 6-10 instead of 10-6, because last year Matthew Stafford led six comebacks in the fourth quarter just to make it to 9-7. Now I'm looking at the schedule last year. They came back and beat Philly 24-23. They barely beat the Rams, who were atrocious, by the way. Also a new word I learned. Barely beat the Rams 31-28. Barely beat the Redskins 2017. And beat Minnesota in overtime. And Jesus Christ, hold on.
So I don't know if his mic's muted or not, but he's currently talking to his daughter in a very stern voice. So I really hope it's not muted, because that would be hilarious to have on here. Hey, Jones. Hey, did you mute the mic this time or no? Oh man, I wanted it to be playing in the background. It's all good, man. Hey, look, like I said earlier, we're dads. I mean, anyone that's a dad out there or a mom, if you are that way, whatever, you're a female and you listen to sports, you're the dopest. But
All right,
obviously, our kids come first.
well, yeah,
So,
obviously the kids
go
come
ahead,
first.
continue
But
on.
Back to what I said though. So bottom line, he led 6 comebacks. If you split those 3 and 3, the Lions are now 6 and 10, not 9 and 7 as a wild card. Amir Abdullah is back. Yeah, Theo Riddick is back. Those are 2 great offensive weapons. Marvin Jones under year 2. I like what the Lions have done. I'm just going to go with the Packers, and it's not because it's a default pick. Packers have upgraded too. They went and got actual running backs in the draft. They addressed their defense in the draft, especially at cornerback. Kevin King was their first pick. If I ask you right now, who is the better quarterback in the division?
It's Aaron Rodgers.
Thank you. Who has the better coach in the division?
I'm not a Mike McCarthy fan.
Okay. Or would you say Jim Bob Cooter is a better coach? Well, he's not the coach; he's the offensive coordinator, right?
I'm not, well, first off, I would never say anyone named Jim Bob is the best anything.
Jim Bob Cooter.
Especially not if Jim Bob is followed by Cooter.
Let's see how many times we can say his
You're
name.
not gonna.
Tell me you don't like Jim Bob Cooter.
I feel like I'm saying like a bad word.
Is it Jim Bob or is it Cooter?
Yo, someone's gonna say that's like racist or something, but Jim Bob.
Are you really laughing like?
I don't know. No, yeah. Like every time I hear that dude's name, I just laugh. Like, I don't know. Maybe
So,
it's.
I can also say that
I don't know.
they had a chance to win the NFC North. They lost the last 3 games, but then the people will point to Matthew Stafford's injured finger, which was very affected. It was very affected. It affected the way he threw the ball, which affected his grip and everything. I get it, but I say, even if I don't say Mike McCarthy is the best coach in the NFC North, I'm not saying I don't know who Jim Caldwell.
Jim Caldwell.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
Don't forget the Vikings got
Mike Zimmer.
Mike Zimmer.
Exactly. So I'm saying, if I wasn't saying Mike McCarthy is the best coach in the NFC North, I'm going to say I would say Mike Zimmer. But they have the human ace bandage
Hey,
and Sam
Hold on.
Bradford.
Don't forget that the Bears got John Fox, man.
Bears do have John Fox, but name their quarterback. Oh wait.
I really don't know if John Fox has won a Super Bowl, but I know he's been to a couple.
He's been to a couple. He's lost both of them. But all right, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter, man. All right, so we know the Bears ain't winning. The Vikings have a great defense, probably going to be top 5. But they lost their best offensive weapon. They don't have a good offensive line. And they got Latavius Murray, who's already injured, and they got Dalvin Cook, who's been known to be injured in college. So let's just give it to the Vikings. And it's a 2-man race, but I'll say the Packers win the division by 2 games. I just like what they did on defense in the draft, and they actually addressed the running back issue, and they still have Aaron Rodgers. I mean, that's just enough for me.
Okay, so hey, look, quick segment. Not really quick because it's still about 15 minutes long, but
A lot is
we
gonna be-
revisited.
a lot is going to be edited out, so.
And no, I'm leaving it all on there. They're gonna hear our faults, and we're gonna add the that phone call. So actually, it's gonna be around 20 minutes. So, as always, before we get into that, I'm going with the Detroit Lions for the obvious reasons that I've already stated. Jones is going with
The Green Bay Packers, the Cheeseheads.
the Green Bay Aaron Rodgers. Guess what, bro? I'm still gonna draft Aaron Rodgers in my fantasy draft.
Although
so.
when the Cowboys play the Packers, Cowboys will win that game.
Oh, yep. No, some more bias in this showing. I love it. So, as always, we are the Uneducated Experts. I'm Mink,
And I'm Jones.
telling you everything that we think we know.
And nothing that we do.
You see what I mean about the pause, bro?
There,
You gotta
there
work
isn't
on
a
the
pause.
pause.
I promise you it's not a pause.
That was definitely a pause right now.
Do your job. Say your ending catchphrase so we can end
Anyways.
this.
All right, bro.
We're waiting.
F word Jones.
We're waiting.
But have a dope day. Have a dope day.